Okay, let's talk about something. What if retirement isn't really the end of stress? What if it's just a different kind of stress? Today, we're going to dive into a philosophy from a man named Major Tariq that tackles this exact problem. It's all about a big mindset shift you need to make to truly enjoy the years you've worked so hard for. Let's get right into it. It's a question we almost never stop to ask. You've clocked out for the last time, you've handed in your badge, but has the worry, the anxiety, that constant mental race, has it actually stopped? For way too many people, the answer is a big, fat no. And this quote right here from Major Tariq, our guide for today, it just nails the whole issue. He argues that all over the world, seniors are just caught in this loop of self-created stress. They're stuck on a treadmill they don't even need to be on anymore. He actually has a name for it, the never-ending race. It's that habit of worrying, right? That constant need to manage and control everything. And it just follows us long after our professional lives are over. And it's fueled by some really specific nagging anxieties. Does any of this sound familiar? I bet it does. The stock market going up and down, the hassle with that rental property, the nonstop news about inflation, these worries basically become your new 9 to 5. A job that never ever ends. It's a race with no finish line in sight. And here's the thing. This isn't just you. It's not some personal failing. Major Tariq's whole philosophy points out that this is a global thing. It really doesn't matter where you live. The pattern is surprisingly the same. Let's look at a few of the examples he shares. So up in Toronto, there's this guy who, by any measure, is financially set. His pension is more than enough. But the what-ifs about his rental properties, what if a tenant misses rent, what if something breaks, are literally stealing his sleep. Or take this case in Florida, a retired engineer who has just traded one kind of stress for another. The pressure of the office is gone, sure, but now he's glued to the minute-by-minute anxiety of the stock market. He's still on high alert, just watching a different screen. And then you go across the pond to London, and it's the exact same story. Seniors who bought property to feel secure now feel trapped by it. They're constantly worrying about new regulations and interest rates. They just can't switch off. And all this leads to a really crucial insight from his philosophy. There's a point where more isn't better. See, for decades, our brains are hardwired to gather and protect resources. It's a survival thing. But after your basic needs are met, that same instinct starts to work against you. More wealth doesn't bring more joy. It just becomes a burden, a new thing to manage, a new thing to be afraid of losing. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where Major Tariq introduces his big idea, what he calls the golden shift. And it's not a small tweak. It's a conscious decision to totally change your life's philosophy. At its core, the golden shift is all about intentionally changing your focus. You pivot from that lifelong habit of getting more to the simple, profound practice of appreciating what you already have. And let's be clear, this isn't about giving up. It's about the freedom that comes from letting go. He breaks it down into 3 core changes in your mindset. First, you move from accumulation to appreciation. Then you go from feeling like you have to compete with everyone to finding a quiet sense of contentment. And finally, you move from the stress of trying to control everything to a peaceful state of acceptance. That's the heart of the shift, right there. All right, so that's the big idea, but how do you actually do it? How do you put it into practice? Well, Major Tariq doesn't just leave us with a theory. He lays out a really clear, practical guide to finding that joy in your golden years. He gives 10 suggestions, and we've grouped them here into 3 really powerful themes. First up, reconnect with play. This is all about social connection, fun, and just plain joy. Second, embrace your freedom. You've earned it. Live without feeling guilty or like you have to apologize for it. And third, find inner calm. This is about healing your soul by letting go of old hurts and nurturing your spirit. I want to pause on this one point for a second because it's just so important. The author calls friendship medicine, and it really truly is. It's not just a nice little bonus. It's absolutely essential for your mental health, for keeping your mind sharp, and for having a reason to get up in the morning. So as we start to bring this all together, the ultimate message here is about completely redefining what wealth means. It's about understanding what your most valuable assets really are at this stage of your life. And it all boils down to this one powerful idea. Peace is the greatest asset. Time is the rarest currency. Think about that. It's not your stock portfolio that matters most. It's your peace portfolio. And time? Well, time is the one thing you can never, ever get more of. That makes it the most precious currency you have. And that leaves us with this final, really empowering thought. The race is over. You've already proven yourself. You've won. Major Tark's message is basically a permission slip to just enjoy the life you've built. So the real question isn't how much you have, it's how peacefully you can live.